Welcome back, guys. I hope you had a good break. Now we are going forward with our second session of our training. The training is series of practical farm income generation, and we're going to look at how to build plummeting farm income, your own plummeting farm income up to 10 million shillings. This is our 17th masterclass of our futuristic farm series on food production, on transformation of food production. Uh, that is our program. And we are moving forward. We always start with all our commercials up so that you don't get. Our first point is that this is a farm office, so when you hear people working, please disregard. It's a farm office, so you could have a few noises sprouting out, maybe chicken, maybe cows. Don't mind it. Number two, I would like to ask you to if you haven't done it, to check out our payment platform, because this is a paid for training. Just run to our office to our official page, that is www.sendepregnantheifer.com, and pay through the donation button. This training, the whole series, the whole 5 series, and the paper, if you want it, will cost you $30. And we want you to be part of our community, because we are using this as our crowdfunding tool to get some funding for our projects. So go check our projects, see how we are changing lives, and paying your $30. You can pay using any currency, and if you want other payment options, you can pay through mobile money or direct to the bank. So you can use anywhere you are in the world. You can pay using your currency. You can even use Bitcoin. So we've lost 2 minutes already. We have to run. Our 40-minute session is running. So we are going back to the training. So in our last training, we were looking at how farmers were doing in different parts of the world. And we looked at USA, China, we looked at Dubai. We have to close there because then we were supposed to look at India, but we have to close there. We also looked at Africa, but we have to close there and move on because of time. But despite of our economic downtowns, farmers appear to be kind of upbeat about the current agricultural conditions. The industry is kind of ripe with opportunity right now that will inevitably shape the economics of tomorrow's farming. And we know by 2050 there will be more than 9 billion people in the world. So agriculture will be quite the catch. What this means is that because agriculture will be kind of the most lucrative investment by 2050, you could take part in this progress today by buying a few shares and allowing them to compound as we move forward. But we're going to explain that in this training. So please keep glued. So right now, let's talk about business. Business generally. We know that building any business means setting aside time to map out the revenue goals, growth strategies, whatever, which can be kind of a daunting task if you have no targets. So our first goal in the last training was create a target. Or if you are merely a visionary who with a big financial concept, say today $10 million. It's not good enough just to say I have a vision of making $10 million. Initially, what you first do, the greatest breakthrough is putting it in words, and that is beautiful. Um, Without merely envisioning it, but putting it in words, putting it on paper, and then going upstream to achieve it. And again, I know my farmers, and I know they're worried about this, but we also understand that profitability and return on investment are not the only measures of success for today's farm enterprises. Um, because if you look at only profitability, making money, it seems farm success down to one metric or measure. Now, I'll have to be blunt with you. For this training, for now, we are going to assume that making money is all there is to being successful in farming, because this is what we want. This is what we want. We want to grow our farmers to make money. I think they have been successful in all the other things for a long time. So let's allow them to make money. So we're starting out. So now mostly one-man operation farm, the small farms, with a few apprentices, a lot of moving parts. And these farms we know usually shut down when a few glitches show up. So, but they get us excited about farming. We identify problems, set goals, and kind of crush them. And that's a good thing. But still, even doing that requires significant investment. We know that many small farms are barely breaking even as it is now, regardless of how well our farmers farm. And we look at these farmers as farmers who are in between worlds. More and more, we are seeing more farms where farmers cannot support themselves by doing farming alone, because they suffer from all these production hazards like aridity, flood, lack of adequate data, poor extension services, and these lead to vital yield gaps, irrigation abscess, and a lot of crop failure. Because while these small farmers might have the drive and the passion to farm and the work effort, they don't have the credit line to take out operating loans, and these are huge sums of money. And we have seen more that there's chances of hitting it big in the business, either slim to none. A dead man's investment. That's what these farms have become. So in the grand scheme of things, our small farms, unlike the large scale farms, in terms of making 10 million US dollars, it is really unrealistic of us to expect them to make that much under the circumstances, unless there is a 360-degree transformation solely leaning on the training we are bringing on now, because we are not going to leave any stone unturned. First off, let's just put this aside. We have to realize that unsuccessful farmers are not kind of alien. That's what other farmers think, especially those that have picked up a few finances over the course of farming. The problem with the unsuccessful farmers is pretty much the whole farming industry has been focused on producing a perfect animal, crop stock, living squarely on the theory or on theories and maybe other suits. Stuff that you cannot put a price tag on, but not making money. So we get to have a world full of farmers who have lost capital chasing investment ideas out of the hope of doubling down on their investment in a short time. And we know with great growth comes even greater risk. And I don't want to be a jinx, but even when farms today are famously known for being money pits, agriculture has a massive social and economic footprint because nothing heightens the emotional intensity of a farming culture as making the right kind of money. We are talking the aggressiveness, the stance, being cool, tough in an industry where money keeps slipping out of our grasps, and it's kind of breathtaking. So what am I saying? I'm saying you can make the 10 million farming. The first million will be vicious, and I know it will. The first five will be equally hard. I know they will. And the last five will kind of have the help of the compounding, basically taking care of the earnings because of the capital force at your fingertips. So we are talking timing, creativity, hunger for results. Now I don't have to tell you about how the unique features of well-kept farming, animal and crop stock are a powerful stimulus for the farmer's soul. There's something about farm money that is wow, it is igniting. But in the past few decades, this component of farming has been exploited, distorted, and outrageously exaggerated, such that the contemporary farming experience has seriously been compromised. This reminds me of the classic Witch of Prodigy storyline by Marion Crawford. And again, I'm not a storyteller, but this is the story is about a witch and who smashed her glass and blew it into a community of people. Talking about a community like a town of people, and when they had these specks in their eyes, all they could see is the bad in things, and they did not have any hope. They did not have they were just hopeless. And I think in the Bible, when we look at Matthew 4:40, I would like you to read. It's talking about faith, and for you to be a successful, high-performing farmer, you need to have a bit of faith. So take time. If you're a Christian, I know. I don't know what it says in the Quran, but in Matthew 4:40, make time and read it. Farmers need to have a lost faith. We need to have it back, but we are moving fast because the superficial myths about successful farm businesses and the trappings of traditional farm entrepreneurs, responsibility of family and community, and these are issues that have nothing to do about farming. In fact, they have everything to do with masculinity and egos are responsible for a damnable failure in farming today. Just like you and I, unsuccessful farmers are preeminently worldly. They are comfortable in society and willing to undertake projects demanding personal sacrifice because their unsuccessfulness does not come from as a result of malignancy, but rather pure lack of money direction. And this is delivered by the compromise farming experiences we talked about earlier. Because again, I want you to pay keen attention to this. If the supreme goal of our farming journey was to make money, well, this means that all the other activities on the farm will take second place to making money. And maybe good agriculture, financial education would then compound on itself and pay dividends for years to come. Because our goal will be making money, and in schools they will be teaching us about making money in farming. And this will be how our highest value towards which we would educate. But unfortunately, our farming philosophy has many goals, and as such, we don't farm to one goal. And nor does our farming theory provide a clear and understandable means of evaluating performance results of those numerous attaches where we place our values. So we are not planning, we are not farming to make money. And what we are farming to do is also fake. We don't know whether we are doing it right or wrong. What our society holds true about farm money relations, economic practices, and earning concepts, it kind of has great influence on life and what takes place in our school system, directing behavior and farm investments. Because now, you think about it, in many ways, our farm is just like any other business. We require steady cash flow, careful budgeting, and investment in efficiency and research. And with contemporary farming, uh, in today's world in which technology is quite complex, our farm businesses, whether big or small, should simply be a range of actions and institutions covering finance, training, production, value addition, storage, marketing, and sales. And we're talking about local and international trade. All in a society of ideas, beliefs, and material inputs. Because action creates action, and so does inaction. And so that was just a preamble of where we are at farming. And now we are moving to a better stage of how to make $10 million on your farm. And I want you to be very, very, very attentive. Alfred North tells us in his write-up that in order for you to understand any one fact, or in order for one to understand any one fact, one must understand. In order to understand any one fact, I hope I'm remembering it well, one must understand an infinity of facts. And that's what we're going to go through, telling you how to make money on your farm. Now, before we start, I would like to assure you that money is about relationships. Uh, Places you have to shake hands, places you have to trade your loyalty, places you have to seek out new people. So if you are in the business of making money, you have to find ways of building relationships. We are doing it right now by working and training with people around the globe. And the way we are doing it is by offering our product and allowing people to pay at the end of the product. That is a trust trade, and it builds relationships. Next time you put out a product which is okay, the person who hopes to benefit from it will trust you, will want to support your product. So how are you going to make $10 million on your farm? Initially, we're giving you a small pointer about what your mind should look like coming to the table where you're learning to make $10 million. Right now, we're going to talk about other things that you need to work with. Number one, human resource. Hiring staff can help you because really you can't do it yourself, or you don't have to do it. So you're going to have to find the right people and empower them so that you can harness or leverage their power and potential. We are talking about their talents, their skills, their drive. So for you to tap into their power and leverage their power and potential in your organization, because human resource is unlimited as a potential. So if you want more production, you get more qualified people and you'll get more output if you manage them well. Because your staff are your peers, your people, your future success that will make the difference between success and failure. But what do I want you to do? When you're first getting started, I want you to use the benefit of hiring people who are good at many different things. And I know you're aware already of the need to wear different hats in your expanding farm business or your growing farm business. So you need to hire some people who can provide a flexible skill set to adopt to your changing business environments. Number two is goals, and we kept hinting on this and hinting on this. We should approach farm transformation with a winning mindset. This is definite concepts and predetermined subjugative strategies and evaluations. Because our goal is to build a farming infrastructure system that creates $10 million in income every year. And the reason why this makes sense is because you can't hit a target that you cannot visualize. So after setting your goal, you'll have to buff it up with a plan of execution and schedule to get you there. Number one, plan your pitfalls. Number two, be accountable to someone. Just be accountable to someone. Number three, create a weekly, daily check-in system and take action. Start despite your circumstances. Don't wait for like a runway or for you to start. Start now. Don't wait for someone to fund your project or literally a runway for you to start. And when you do start, take responsibility to upgrade constantly. We've had a lot of upcoming, perpetually upcoming farmers who are not there. They're not in the middle. They're not at the beginning. They're just there. Now we are getting to our favorite part, and that is mindset. And we've been hinting on this too. And we said mindset is your best asset. Your mindset is going to be your best asset for this this transition to make it to $10 million. And I know even right now your brain is fighting you now, saying that is a lot of money. But how can we do that? So you need to help me to handle your mindset, because you are what you do, not what you say you'll do. And I'll give you an example. Have you ever wondered why librarians don't make a lot of money? Because they have the keys to the kingdom, they have the keys to the knowledge, and somehow they are never there. Because now what we are bringing you to is mastery. You are the master of your reality, and we are talking cause and effect. Now, I will say that an increase in money mobility has, to some degree, encouraged engagement in varying innovative projects, leading farmers to manifest a new consciousness of money, self, and presence. I'll say again that your mind is moldable, changeable to emphasize availability, access, depth of engagement. Virtues that have only lately sanitized our public's perception of farm income generation and painted a new picture, a reality of which you and I can act. Because this is a whole different game plan, which starts and ends with rising above yourself, and we call it the Great Awakening. So what am I saying? I'm saying analyzing your farming success and investments from a contemporary perspective, and attempting to come to terms with what we think success is as we grow into our contemporary roles on the global scene. It is kind of an exploit. We have to accept that generally farm money creates a conceptual dilemma for many farmers. And this is extreme, but our experts say it's just an extension of farmers' love, their love affairs with their animal and crops. And I would say myself, I've become all too familiar with a series of expressions I receive from farmers when I talk about farm wealth generation, wonder, bafflement. You get when we are there and you're talking about farm wealth generation, you'll see some people wondering what I'm about. They're baffled. Then maybe some are embarrassed, some are in disbelief, some are frustrated, some are even angry, because people don't want to be fixed. And it gets really worse when I talk about the 10 million. I know I could be speaking to you, because if you're still irritated, I'm supposed to bring this down until you feel in your bones that you can make the 10 million. Today, you can start your progress. But there is however, a huge overlap between the pundits we talked about this and the progressive farmer who just need to go ahead of the pack. And these are plenty, and many of you reading are part of that because it takes guts to even follow through a training like this. Because I'll tell you, we find ourselves in this part leaning largely on theoretical farming practices that brandish rhetorical values that almost always discharge variable, highly sensitive probabilities. And these are meaningful only by comparison to others that have shown evidence of classic continuing financial dilemma on our farms. Most of these theories from our university yellow pages, our lecturers and professors who have been teaching for many years, brandishing the same theories, and these ones have continued to cause financial dilemma on our farms. As with other cultural phenomena, now farm success means different things to different people. To some people it means money. And we are still talking about mindset. We are building on mindset. Some people it means money, some people it means breed, some people numbers, tonnage in production, influence, legacy, coverage, impact. And I would say, and this is the main point, you have to listen to me clearly on this mindset transformation. And this is your biggest asset, your mindset. We have developed a theory of individual competitiveness, we are forgetting that farming is not determinate, doesn't have fixed rules and a universally agreed upon objective that is beginning, middle, and end. It is a boundless conversion surrounded by boundless conversions by other boundless conversions. Uh, just like it, with known and unknown players, variable rules, and an objective that is to keep playing to preserve the advancements. So the wheels must keep turning, and money is just a means of continuation and keeping a score. So as such, there's no such thing as best farmer. If a farm makes money, more cash than any other farm, near it, they don't win. They only win when they keep farming. And again, like I told you, I am not a good storyteller, but very quickly, I'll tell you a story about a farmer who kind of blew it up, who blew out his career in farming when he took to what we are talking about here. This was a big farm. He was actually becoming a rancher almost. And in his neighborhood, he had a fellow farmer who was big, and they were competing head to head. And they kept competing head to head, meaning that if the person on the other farm would stop 200 heads of quality cattle, he would match it up with say 220, and 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 and, and that was the force that was driving him, and he was running his farm very well and was investing. Now the problem came when this farmer visited another town far away, and you don't know some of our towns, but the farm was situated in the north of Uganda. It's in the north part of Uganda, and he realized that there was a farm that had the same name as his neighbor's farm. So after an inquiry, the farmer realized that his neighbor actually owned a couple of farms, around 9 farms, and a ranch. And this blew him off because he had put in a lot, just struggling to match up with one branch of this man's farms. So the realization that this man owned 10 farms and one of the 10 was a ranch depleted his energies of farming, and he never came back from that. When farmers farm as if there is a finish line, spending recklessly out of budget to achieve a perfect stock that's only good as a conversation piece and cannot be monetized using whatever metrics they conjure, these farmers risk running out of resources or simply burning out, as my friend did. And this is the best way not to make $10 million on your farm. So from the writing on the wall, and the writer by Drucker says you cannot build performance on weakness. So build a sustainable system. Not just a farm for show. So guys, this is the end of our second session. Please come join us in the third session. We are continuing the training. In fact, we haven't even touched anything about making money. We are just moving slowly. So please rush very fast. If you have not subscribe to this page. If you not paid for this training, please rush and to our website or check in the comment section. You will see other means of payment by mobile money via our account. But if you're using our website, go direct to the website www.senabrinanhafer.com. In the donation part, just press and pay in any currency. Even if you have bitcoins, you can pay using those. It's only $30. Bless our organization, allow us to do our work, and also support our work, because you're really just paying for this paper, and it's good to have your supporters. So the best is coming. The best is coming. Please join us shortly. We are still here, but we have to keep it each class in sessions of not more than 40 minutes. So see you then. Stay blessed. Wish you well.